Nerdgasm Talk podcast is brought to you by Spaces Philly. If you love podcasts, go to spacesphilly.com where you can check out Lulu and Pop, Both Sides, Turntables, Jump Thought Super Tongue, and the Nerd Coalition's very own No Gimmicks Needed. Visit spacesphilly.com today. And now, feel the Nerdgasm.
Is Will Smith, Big Will.
Mm-hmm.
His punishment finally came out of what he is, after the slap against Chris Rock. Now, first off, we talked about this extensively on our podcast 2 weeks ago. We gave the Raw version and our It's Been 24 Hours to Talk About It version. I hope you will back and listen to that.
I will.
It was a good conversation. But now, Swag is here, and I want to know, what was your thoughts and everything? It's like, you got time to sit with this. And we never got the chance to hear your opinion about the slap in the first place.
Yeah, sure. So let me tell you exactly what happened. I was asleep, and my phone kept buzzing. And I'm like, what is going on? And I heard something about Will Smith and Chris Rock. And so, someone sent me a video. I'm like, all right, let me check it out. At first, it looked fake. I was like, this ain't real. And then seeing Will Smith yelling like that, I was like, okay, this is definitely not real. Because we never seen Will Smith in that pocket before.
Yeah.
Then it took some time to really sit with me, and I'm like, oh, this is actually legit. This actually happened. Mm-hmm. Also, by the way, I would have never known that Oscars were happening if it wasn't for this event. I would have never known. Now, I understand where Will's coming from. If someone's talking about your lady, you got to defend her. I give them all props in the world. Defend your lady. Defend your wife. What was crazy about the whole situation, it was that it almost feels like, you remember Dragon Ball, what's that thing named Bibbidi Bobbidi? And it was controlling Vegeta.
Yeah.
That's how it felt. It's like Will is always 100% in his relationship, but Jada always feels like she's 5% in it.
Yeah.
And
more and more stuff is coming out from his transcripts and stuff like that about how messed up this marriage really was.
Right. And I'm just, this wasn't like a spur in the moment thing. This was building, and then it just popped.
Yes.
Now, I do got the Will Smith book. I didn't read it yet.
I want to read that.
I could give it to you if you want to check it out.
I'm saying, because I got a list of stuff that I'm reading at the moment too. But I was like, I want to get that Will Smith memoir. But I was just like, do I really want to go on Target about you buy this Will Smith book? I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I am. I'm just saying, or do I want to go stick and do it on Amazon? But yeah.
I mean, I can give it to you. The Will Smith book. If you like. But yeah, I haven't read the book, so I'm sure there's going to be some information in there that we learned about that probably add on to this. But the more I'm seeing on the internet, the more I'm like, at this point, I'm like, Will, I'll marry you, Will, because this is just he's not looking happy at all. And it hurts. It hurts me as a Philly native, and it hurts me as someone who grew up watching Will Smith. So this is a hard thing to watch. I don't think the ban is fair because, how long did it take Harvey Weinstein to go to jail? But that's neither here or there.
Well, actually, it is a here thing because this is some of the things that a lot of people are talking about because the punishment came out for Will Smith that he has been banned from the Oscars for 10 years, a whole decade. That means Will Smith will be 63 years old before he's allowed to go back to the Oscars. Now, obviously, there's a lot of people on certain sides of the fence here because, there's always going to be the woulda, shoulda, couldas out there. There's always going to be the things about, he should be punished harsher or he should get his Oscars taken away or stuff like that. Or if he didn't get a certain kind of punishment, he's a celebrity. He didn't get punished. It doesn't no matter what section you come out of, it doesn't look good.
Right.
Unfortunately. And right now he's been banned. Now, me personally, I was just like, because I'm a kind of guy that I believe your prior history counts for something.
Mm-hmm.
Just like when certain people do crimes, and it's just like, well, they don't have a criminal record. this is their first offense, so their offense may not be as, harsh as other defenses because it's their first crime.
Right.
And some crimes, I'm like, well, that's how some people, even the truly evil people of the world, get away with so much shit.
Right.
But Will does not have a history of this behavior. We know a lot of people in Hollywood that have a history of this kind of behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And worse. Okay? And they walk away with a slap on the wrist, and a lot of them happen to be white people.
Yep.
And that's just unfortunate truth about it. So, but you knew that when this happened, and once again, I want to make it clear to everybody, I'm not condoning what Will Smith did. You can't go up there and assault somebody, and just because of that. And I understand you. And first of all, for me being married, you go up there, you got to defend for your wife, but you got to do it in a way because there have been a lot of guys that have gone to defend for their lady, whether it was justified or not. They're dead.
Mm-hmm.
And that are dead, and especially you don't go slap another man and then turn your back on him and walk away, knowing he probably wouldn't do anything because it's already made it look worse. So it's a lot of layers to unpack here, but there are a lot of people that are upset with the 10-year ban. Me personally, I know he's gonna get probably 5.
Right.
I thought he might get a 5-year ban from the Oscars. He already resigned from the Oscars, but because I know tomorrow, because we record this on Sunday, but I do know by Monday, my girl Grace Randolph gonna talk about it.
Agree to disagree.
Look, I told me and Grace Randolph have a love-hate relationship, but it's not because of social stuff. It's because of movies.
Yep.
But when it comes to, like I said, when it comes to like social stuff, like she be so woke, I don't think she go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? and I'm like, you know what? Because I just be like, man, okay, you bring up some points that I didn't even think of, type of thing like that. And I know a lot of my movie channels that I watch are going to have their opinions on it because it just happened over the weekend.
Right.
So a lot of people don't have done too much about it weekend. They'll probably talk about it more. So when I say all that to say is I am a guy who loves movies. I watch a lot of movies, but when it comes to the business, I never worked in Hollywood before. These people have. I never worked in Hollywood. So when it comes to does the punch fit the crime, I don't know, because as of right now, to my knowledge, and once again, this is not setting the bar very high. Will Smith still has his license to make movies. To make money. So there have been some projects that his memoir, and there was another movie that people probably are that they put on pause, and Bad Boys 4 stuff like that. Warner Brothers is not going to, because Warner Brothers did Bad Boys, right?
I think. I don't remember who did Bad Boys. I can look it up.
I don't know if it's Warner Bros. Or Paramount or whoever the company is that does Bad Boys. They're not canceling Bad Boys 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they're gonna wait till this kind of thing kind of blows over a little bit, and then it'll probably be a year or two before we see Will Smith in a trailer for any movies, type thing. But as right now, it's as far as I know, that he doesn't lose his license to work and act or even be nominated. He can't vote for who should win the Oscar, but I don't know if this prevents him from being nominated for an Oscar. And if he so happens to win it, he just can't be there to accept it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
To my knowledge. So I don't know. If that is the case, I'm like, I don't know how to feel about it.
Now, if that's the case, in all honesty, it sounds like he got banned from a boring office party.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, all right. I still win awards? Okay, cool. I'll just watch from the TV. Yeah. And Bad Boys is from Sony.
Columbia
Pictures. So yeah, they ain't canceling that movie. What's going on with Morbius? They ain't canceling that.
Yeah. No, they ain't canceling.
We're good.
So it's like because a lot of people don't understand is I do see a lot of people on there and they're mad online, and I understand why they're mad. It's like the Oscars have been falling off for over years and years and years to come. Right. And it just so happened that the Oscars got so, diverse a couple weeks ago because Will Packer produced it and he had an all-black production cast.
Right.
And he called all the black people that he probably knew to Hollywood. I mean, I saw Dwayne Johnson at the Oscars. What the hell he doing there?
Yeah, I saw a clip of him. I was like, oh.
And that's what I'm saying. It was like black folks that was there that you didn't even know. I mean, to the point, it was like, they don't come to Oscars because their movies would never be nominated in this kind of category. Right. They was there representing. Mm-hmm. So I was just like, oh, that's dope. Because most of you I see at the NAACP Awards. Mm-hmm. So, I do get it. It's like, well, the Oscars been losing numbers, and it's probably like, it probably is the thing like I got banned for the Boring House Party. I don't even know if he's banned from the after party.
Yeah.
He could probably still go to the after party, and I'm not sitting there saying like Will Smith's like, all right, cool, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We knew that what Will Smith did, something was going to happen.
Right.
And no matter what happened, there was always going to be some type of disagreement, and no matter what he got, it was always going to be, whether it be racist or there's not enough, and there was no win situation. So right now, if you're out there listening to us and want a certain opinion, like, well, what side do y'all land on? Do y'all agree with the 10 years? Do y'all not agree with the 10 years? I really don't know. I just know that he has to be reprimanded for something. I'm glad that they ain't gonna take his Oscar, because that would have been stupid. Because you need
that's what I'm happy about. I'm glad they're not taking his Oscar.
I'm about to say, because you got to line up the U-Haul truck and take a lot more Oscars if you're going to take his.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. That's where I was like, well, we need to hold them accountable if that's the case.
Exactly. Like, you be setting up a mess of type of things, and if he's still able to work and still make movies and still have a chance to even be nominated, stuff like that, then I feel as though that, okay, fine. If he can't come in for 10 years, it's more like y'all missing out.
Right.
But the Academy had to do something to illustrate that this should not and will not happen again. So
yeah, to me it feels like that. Like when I never mind. I'm not going to say that example.
What was you going to say? Cool.
I was going to say, when a mass shooting happens and everyone blames video games.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I guess video games will just have to take the blame for this.
Yeah.
It's almost like someone had to take the blame, and unfortunately, it had to be Will Smith.
It had to be Will, and like I said, I do feel bad for him because all this stuff about the marriage stuff like that. Whether we get the news, we read it and stuff like that, but this is personal stuff.
Right.
And being married is hard enough, okay? And but all the stuff that's coming out, that these different tapes that they find, I'm just like, this is not making it any easier. And people just want to know what the hot story is. But I'm just like, look, once this man gets his punishment and goes on, people gonna start forgetting about this, because whether people want to argue about it or not, people love Will Smith.
Yeah,
he's a beloved guy, and like I said, he doesn't have a history of doing this kind of shit. He had a bad day, which doesn't justify anything, but he had a bad day. And like I said, I think people gonna move on by this. And me personally, I don't even know if the 10-year ban gonna stick.
Right.
It may be like a parole thing, and maybe after 3 or 4 or 5 years, like, you know what, bro, you did a lot of community service. You've shown us that this is not your behavior, which it isn't. So they may be like, you know what, we lift the ban next year, and Wilson can come back. Because you'd be surprised how things people forget in 6 months opposed to 5 years.
I was gonna say, yeah, within 2 months we'll probably forget.
Yeah, people actually starting to fall off now, and it's been about 2 weeks. I'm not saying it's gone. I'm just saying people, starting to just go on about their day. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not like he's Ezra Miller out here.
Yeah.